ensuring it original and free of reuse issues. Our 10th anniversary should have been a night of celebration, a toast to the journey, to the memories stitched together over the years. Quiet mornings, the comfort of rituals, the soft silence between two people who knew each other deeply. Instead, I lit a fuse. I had made his favorite dish, rosemary roasted chicken, a medley of vegetables, and a bottle of Pinot Noir we had been saving for a special occasion. The candlelight flickered gently across his face. He looked happy, at peace, while my thoughts swirled with something entirely different. His name is Evan. Kind, stable, and deeply considerate. The sort of man who remembered how I took my tea, who cleaned the snow off my windshield before I even asked, who never let me go to sleep upset. But somewhere between the comfort and the predictability, I started to feel trapped. I mistook reliability for restriction. I thought craving more made me courageous. When dinner plates were cleared and the music had softened, I said it. There's something I've been thinking about. I began. He set down his glass, watching me carefully. I've been wondering if we could try opening our relationship. The words hung there like a fog. He didn't react immediately. Just a long, unreadable stare. Then, as calm as ever, he stood, gathered the dishes, and rinsed them one by one in the sink. No raised voice. No slammed door. Only silence. "Thanks for dinner," he said simply, and walked upstairs. That night, I expected confrontation. I lay in bed waiting for something. An argument, a tearful fight, anything. Instead, he didn't come to bed at all. I found him on the couch, back turned, under a thin throw blanket. By morning, something had shifted. The coffee maker was off. His side of the closet was half empty. The front door had been left unlocked. My heart pounded as I checked room after room. Gone. His guitar, his books, his watch, all missing. I opened my banking app, and my heart dropped. Every account was frozen. A pop-up notification told me I no longer had access. On the kitchen table sat a thick envelope with my name. Inside, divorce papers. Attached, a handwritten note. You said you needed freedom. I'm giving it to you, just not the way you expected. There was no anger in those words, just finality. A lawyer confirmed what I had overlooked for years, an ironclad prenup I had signed without much thought. One clause stood out. Any mention or pursuit of extramarital involvement nullified all claims to shared assets. I hadn't cheated, but I'd made my intentions clear, and Evan had acted swiftly. Within a week, I was out. No arguments, no negotiations, just polite emails from his attorney, outlining the logistics of my departure. I rented a small, run-down apartment on the other side of town. One room, peeling paint, paper-thin walls. I brought with me 3 boxes and a mountain of silence. Then came the second blow. 2 weeks later, my boss asked me to come into her office. She didn't speak, just handed me her phone. On the screen were screenshots, group messages supposedly written by me, crude, mocking lines about Evan, about our marriage, about sex. Fabricated, but detailed enough to be convincing. I tried to explain. It didn't matter. "We're placing you on indefinite leave," she said. I spiraled. Friends stopped replying. One of my bridesmaids texted me, simply, "You need help?" and then blocked me. The world, once full of familiar faces and laughter, went quiet. Months later, I came across a podcast. Evan was a guest. The title, "When Loyalty Isn't Enough." He spoke slowly, calmly. Some people think freedom is something they're owed, without consequences. But when someone breaks your trust, you don't owe them pain. You owe them absence. The host asked if he'd ever speak to me again. "No," he answered. "The silence is my answer." I felt the walls close in, not out of rage or jealousy, but realization. He hadn't sought revenge. He had disappeared from my life with surgical precision. One evening, I heard a knock. A man stood there with an envelope. Evan's lawyer. "Final settlement," he said. "There's no money involved, just terms." Inside was a letter. "Clara, you once said you needed something different. So I made sure every piece of this life now feels foreign to you. I didn't take you to court. I didn't expose you to the world. I just walked away. With everything we built, So you can finally see what it's like to have nothing left to dismantle. This is the last thing you'll ever receive from me. Not vengeance, just consequence. Evan, I didn't cry when I read it. I couldn't. I just sat on the floor of my tiny kitchen and stared at the chipped tile. He hadn't destroyed me. I had done that all by myself. I tried therapy, dating apps, journaling. None of it helped. Every job application was a dead end. Every face reminded me of what I had lost. I couldn't escape the version of me that had needed more. A year passed. Then, too, one evening, scrolling through social media, I saw a photo. Evan on a boat, holding hands with someone new, smiling, peaceful. The caption read, "Freedom is choosing peace over noise." I stared at it for a long time, not because I was jealous, but because I understood, finally, what I had given up. He didn't want to hurt me. He just wanted to be free of me. And now I live in the echo of that silence. Not bitter, just aware. People ask if I ever heard from him again. I haven't. And if I ever did, I don't think I deserve the kindness of a reply.